can see, I've got a nice little bit of ground prepped here, which I've been hoeing, and this is going to be used for some dwarf bean varieties. The ones I've got here are my dwarf borlottis. They've been started off in these little modules, which are probably a little bit too small for them. If you can see them a bit better there, but I've not kept them in here too long. In fact, some of the leaves haven't even really finished unfolding, but I'm going to get them straight into the ground. And the reason why I like growing dwarf varieties of beans, as well as just the usual ones which climb nice and high, is that your dwarf ones will ripen up and be ready to pick sooner than the others. So you get an early crop. So I think of them almost like the new potato of the bean world. And the other nice thing is you can keep growing these throughout the summer months, and you can even get a very final last crop in autumn with them as well. So as your other beans are finishing up, these you could still plant and go ahead with, and they'll only grow about that big, but they're nice little bushy plants and a great way to get some extra harvests in. So as you can see, I've got this space here, and I think the plan is to have the borlottis here, and then I might also have some dwarf French beans here as well. So I've got my trusty, if not a little rusty, hori knife here, and we'll get these planted. What I'm thinking to myself now, should have started up that end and planted down this way, but never mind, these things happen. I'm really happy with how those are in now. I think I'm going to give them a water, and hopefully they should shoot up with the good weather, and soon I'll get my proper climbing beans out as well. So this bed itself, just as I was on there digging into it, I can really feel that the structure has improved since I started it. I think it's maybe 3 or 4 years ago. With the no dig, building up the layers of mulch over each year, you can really feel the structure of the ground firming up, and I'm assuming and hoping being full of goodness too, with all the roots being left in from the plants as I twist them out and they break down over the years, feeding more nutrients into the soil itself. Yeah, things are coming along quite well. A slight area of concern for me this year is my alliums. The onions just aren't looking great, to be honest. I don't know if it's because there's been such a change in temperatures. We had heavy rain for 3 weeks, then we've had hot, dry weather. Today's a bit cloudy and overcast, but they just don't seem to have settled well into the ground. I've got yellowing tips on them, and when I dug in underneath some of them just to have a feel, I could feel that some of them were rotting away under the ground. So I just think the conditions haven't been great. What I will do to counteract that next year is I'm going to sow my onions in autumn, keep them over the winter, and then hopefully I'll have stronger, more resilient plants ready to plant out in spring. Normally I start them on Boxing Day, January, that kind of time. But fingers crossed, we'll still have a nice, good, strong garlic crop and some lovely onions. I'm sure they'll probably be all right, but I just need them to kind of kick in and have a second wind, because they're really behind where they were last year. So a bit of a costume change. It started pouring down with rain yesterday, so I left it 24 hours and I've come back out. But as I was saying, the alliums seem to be a little bit off this year, especially the onions. The garlics don't seem quite as thick as they were this time last year, and I've had a telltale sign that I've actually had a misprinted label on the garlic, because I ordered soft neck garlic and I've got some scapes here which are great, you know, they're lovely to eat, but it's a sign that I've actually got a hard neck variety this year, which I've found in the past don't tend to grow quite so well. But there we are, I'm going to go with it, and who knows, maybe this is the year that I'll be proven wrong. But yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. So you can also see I've also interplanted some radishes, which they're getting quite big now. I need to really harvest these and use them up. So if they get too big, they can get a little woody, but they're really nice. And as I said before, this time of year, they taste excellent. Not quite as peppery and hot as you get in summer. So I've got a little secret friend to show you now. Someone who's been in my greenhouse for the past few days. So we'll head over there and I'll show you what I'm up to. So I'd like to introduce you all to a friend of mine. He's a very tiny little plum tomato, a little miniature plum, and called Fiaschetto. The seeds came from Italy, and what happened was I had some of these plants and I planted it in the ground. It was my only one, and some creature came along and nibbled the stem actually, which I hadn't seen before. I've never really had any trouble with my tomato plants in that way, and the plant just died off, and I had this very tiny little side shoot, and I thought, you know, I didn't really want to start from seed again, although I'm sure I could, but I wanted to keep this plant going. I've been determined, so I popped it in some water, propagated it. You can see now that some lovely white roots have come out there, so I'm going to plant him up in, I've got a little pot for him here, and we'll just do this right here, and I'm going to nurture him, even if he's behind the other tomatoes, you know, and maybe he doesn't, or she, make as many tomatoes this year. I still want to see it fruit, and I want to see it thrive and do well. So I'm just going to nudge him in here, and I think because some days are getting quite warm in the greenhouse, I'm going to just keep him indoors for a week or so, and then we will nurture him and see how he gets on. So I will keep you posted on this. And those first fruits from, I suppose he needs a name, Freddy, we can go with that. First fruits from Freddy I think are going to taste really good. So there we are. Anyway, the greenhouse is a whole other story. I've got loads of things that need planting out. I've got some nasturtiums that are looking really sad. I should have pricked these out a long time ago. You can see they're going a bit yellow, but I'm going to try and give them a bit of a feed, prick them out, see if I can rescue them. I'm sure they'll bounce back. But that's a story for another day. So thanks for watching again. Just a quick video out in the garden with me today. And I think on Friday, I'm going to film a recipe with some Swiss chard. So if mine's not quite ready, I'm going to get some from a friend's house. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Do like and subscribe. And yeah, if you want to watch some more of my videos, I've got about 20 odd videos now, so you can go back and watch a few more and let me know what you think. But thanks again for watching, and happy gardening.